Alrighty, cool. So this one we're gonna talk about a very interesting facts. We're gonna do a 5 years comparison of me back in 2021. By the time you're watching right now, 2026, or whatever you're watching this video in the future or whatnot. So it's kind of like a 5 year comparison, and then to kind of really do a little bit short of a comparison of analyze why I can done better if I tell my younger self, right? So yeah, I'm gonna start showing some picture of me from the past, and then some picture of me right now. Hopefully, maybe side by side, and of course, you're gonna enjoy me. Throughout the video has some workout clips part of it. So yeah, let's just get to it. Let's get it. So we're gonna start with 2021. That's definitely the post-COVID era for me, where because I started my journey back in late 2018, I guess around the summer era. So that's kind of like the first year, give or take, actually being consistent, start lifting. And of course, just remember the first couple of years, none of us will guarantee had the perfect form, perfect diet, perfect recoveries, because we're still new, right? We start learning to get better over time. Now, I will say during COVID happens, the gym shut down. So it's really like the early era of me coming back to the gym, right? So that's definitely for me, I guess the second and a quarter, second half year coming back to the gym, right? In total, the lifting age. So I will say, if I remember correctly, throughout the era is because I have gained some weight back throughout COVID because there's no activities, motivation dropped. You kind of just eat whatever a little bit. So I'll claim the fact is I think I did actually still have some fasting going on to really get myself to drop the weight faster. But of course, at the time you realize, this is what worked before. So your brain kind of go in the process, okay, I'm gonna do this again, right? If I was go back to remap everything, I would say I would definitely not do that. I would definitely start with the route I did to path 2. So if you haven't watched that video from the previous video and the first video, definitely check it out. I don't want to spoil too much. It's more for me going for a slower pace, it's kind of doing this kind of like the main gain, give or take, like a slight deficit where you still eating below your maintenance by maybe 200-300, give or take, depends on people's body reacts, but that's what works for me, right? So it's the fact that it's like going 200-300 below the maintenance and then still trying to keep your protein high, good enough carbs, healthy enough fat, and then still try to build some muscle at the same time. So it's kind of like, exchanging the fat mass and the lean mass at the same time, even though lean mass can take more time to grow. But again, everyone's different, especially during your early age of lifting. If you have a proper recovery, like just say that does happen around you, right? You have everything prepped up, all properly, all perfect. Then yes, you will definitely have a lot of amazing new beginnings in the beginning. So even though in the picture you see back for me in 2021, as someone who was just, I would say at the time, 19 years old, yeah, or like almost 20, look at it like, it's actually not bad in a decent shape, right? You can see there's some muscle definitions, some shoulders, some arms, right? Maybe I have a picture of me in the lower body perspective. Maybe not. I'll try my best to find it for you. So you won't find out right now in this video you're watching. It's actually not bad, but the only part is the fact that I'm realizing, I think, I was still in this very slow era at the time. So if I was, cutting off the full fasting factor, right? And then doing this slow pace of a, main gain, slight deficit, I will probably put more mass perspective. And then definitely, I think I could have do better on the form. I could have do better on the diet perspective to really, how more proper, I was a strict diet, but how more correct diet were a way to track it. And given the fact is that I think during the starting journey, I did starting tracking my calories in my fitness pal. So I think that's already pretty good for what I did. So if I really talk, going back to my younger self, is definitely get the training quality up and then to really have a dial down dieting instead of trying to worry about, I gotta lose this weight, I'm also trying to, gain muscle, because that's impossible. You gotta focus on one thing or another, which gain is kind of like the balance part where, your body's recamping and then also building mass. So that's definitely one thing. And this fast forward now to 2026, as you see, my physique is significantly different, of course, because, there's 5-year timelines there, right? Even though your form not gonna be perfect, your diet not gonna be perfect, you're still gonna be able to put in muscles, right? Put in lean mass. So for me, I think if I had the dial down early on, definitely is so much better. In the mindset shift perspective, I won't say there's any significant difference, because at the time, my mind's always, at the time back in 2021, right? My mind's fighting against the hunger, hungry to do the fasting, but also at the same time to, keep myself consistent. I was doing, I think 5 times or 6 times a week to the gym, so it's not bad. Now with 2026, it's a different mindset now, because I'm realizing, okay, so no more fasting. Fasting's done the bestest for me in the early era, right? Drop all the fat mass as possible. Now realizing that, my body's also have the reaction of, the belly fat always going to be the last one to come off, which is totally fine, right? Doesn't mean that when I get down to the below 50% body fat, even 12 or even 13% body fat, every single most muscle parts, you can say the group is going to be super striated, super definition showing up. So now we're just the belly part, that's to be the fun one. It's totally fine, right? So that's really something I would say, going back to my younger self over top, why, telling you that, hey, now down the form, get the recovery up. You don't have to be super crazy on 5 to 6 times a week. Just focus on having a quality session, maybe 4 to 5 times at max. And then have some, low intensity cardio, give or take, just trying to, get the heart rate up, and then at the same time, just really get a diet down. Because I think, also I would say, adding this part just got me some new idea. Well, talking to you guys right here, I definitely is having the correct blood work. I think, when you done your blood work early on, instead of waiting for, because I think that the first time I started the blood work, it was back in maybe 2023. Yeah, so it's like, if I would done my blood work even early on, maybe when I just turned 18, whatnot, to really understand what's actually going on. And then, of course, at the time, we didn't really have any, super, like what we got today, the AI is the technology to do the research to kind of discuss without really had to pay some the expert, right? Because when you output the data, those AI is so smart to do the pattern recognition to really explain to you what's X, Y, and Z and what is this. So yes, we can say that we didn't have that as a blame of excuse, but also at the same time, I think that even down the blood, we're still better than doing nothing than waiting for now, right? So definitely have a better idea to see when our body's reacting and everything and whatnot. So that's definitely one thing. So yeah, this video purpose really kind of give you like the full 5 transformations, right? And then I will say definitely the main takeaway, besides the dieting, cut the fasting right away at an early age. Once you had full success early on, again, I don't recommend anyone to start fasting if it's not for you, right? If you, feel like your body for 1 week after that, it's not for you, definitely don't do it. This is what worked for me at the time when I first started, right? But I think after I had a first success with 70-pound weight loss after 3 months with fasting, low carb keto diet, this kind of mix, and then going to the gym consistently help with that. I think I should, yes, we can say maybe during the COVID era, a little bit blame because my weight went up back by 10, 20 pounds, but doesn't mean that fasting should always be the solution. Maybe can do a 16 to 8, give or take, right? But I won't say it shouldn't be the primary target. It's more just like a little habit to kind of keep on the side, so keep you in check, make sure you don't gain too much weight back. But also at the same time, you should really dial down the diet, is like how you're able to, get a quality proteins, get a quality carbs, and then it's okay to have some craving. Maybe once in a bit, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, have a little bit of cheat meal, not cheat day, because that's at the time what I was doing twice cheat day a week, where like maybe like Wednesday have whatever the hell the food I want to eat, and then Sunday doing that. I realized, okay, I can just have my fasting kind of balance out, realizing that's kind of wasting for me, because the fact is, yes, you still get some nutrition out of it, the cheap food, but doesn't mean that you're gonna get a quality food, quality stuff from it. So like, that's definitely something that what I do now is that I will have a little bit cheat meal, maybe just a one food that has a little bit cheating, adding part of it, that I feel okay with it, and it still mixed with healthy diet. Kind of like the the 75 to 80%, the healthy food 20%, were just the one little bit. So yeah, so that's the only thing I will say that 5 difference. Who knows? Maybe the next time you tackle on this channel, we're gonna do another 5 difference to see where I'm at. Today, recording this video, versus the future 5 years, and then we can do a 10-year timeline to that. Again, just remember that you are realizing, oh crap, I could have done better at the time early on. But remember, none of us born is perfect. And then you just learn that new things every day, make improvement every day, and then everything, whatever you do in life, right? You're not gonna be good at it. You're gonna be stuck first, and you get better over time. So same thing goes with fitness, right? You learn something every day and you realize it. But again, it's never too late to make improvements. Just always keep yourself in check, and then consistency is always the key, because when you're being consistent, you will find new data feedbacks, realizing that what you could have done better, so you can improve it and the ASAP. You don't want to be fall behind. So thank you for watching. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't checked out other video from the past, definitely do. And then excited to see you guys in the next video. Peace.